What's going on, everyone? What we all doing tonight? It's gonna be just me here for a little bit. G-Bay popped in here for a little bit, saying something about a cactus up his bum. So I just take it to mean he's pooping right now. He'll be back and at some point in time. Who knows? I hope all is well with you, G-Bay, and may you pass that cactus soon, brother. Right off the bat, let's get to that. Let's get to the dad frog. I know y'all are missing the dad frog there Tuesday night, and my apologies for that. But sometimes we just get in conversation mode. And you know what? I had one hell of a time hanging out with David from Blunt Bean Seed Co. on Tuesday night. If you haven't checked out that episode, I strongly suggest you go back and have a look at it. He was a great dude, and we cannot wait to get him back. And I think I'm gonna get my hands on some of his beans and maybe try and give him a go for outdoor season. Those gooey butter cakes that he was talking about. That shit just sounded badass. And an early September, late September finish. I like that idea too. That's appealing to me. What are y'all smoking on right off the bat, guys? I see you motherfucking Haas in there. What are you smoking on, brother? Jack Lawrence, what do you got puffing on? Supreme Grape, what are you smoking on? J. Patrick, brother, what do you got going on? Who else we got? I saw Crispy Panda in there earlier, didn't I? Yes, I did. Heart Soul Homegrown, cheers. What are you smoking on as well? Let me know. I am smoking on a little bit of a salad. It's going to be some Gorilla Skittles and some Catahoula. It's a little bit of both. A little bit of smoke from our most recent harvest. And, god damn, I am, feels good to have the your own smoke again that you grew. Now, here's one of my big problems is my harvest weights are not there. And I don't know if it's because I've replaced my there's going to be a bunch of factors, but I'm wondering if me replacing my soil and starting fresh again a couple times, doing organics, living soil, attempting to has something to do with it. Because like I can grow dank, I can grow some killer weed. However, my harvest weights are not there. Like on plants that I've grown before and I know I can produce with, this run, the weights were not there. Like it's pathetic, and I'm not even going to go into what I got. I'm just like, but when I think about it also, I flipped those early to mid September, or no, mid to late September, I want to say. And yeah, going through that time and all through October into the very early November, I was going through pretty serious at the time health scare, given the potential outcome it could have been. And you know, so my attention was not fully there yet until kind of the last 4 weeks of the grow, which by then you're a little too late. So I maybe that's something to do with it, but I'm like, god damn, I can't pump the volume with the organics. So I'm actually wondering, like, should I fucking start dabbling in salts again a little bit? I don't like, I like to fuck around a little bit, but I don't really like the idea of going back to it. But it's like, I should be able to almost keep us from buying smoke, you know, unless it's like where you actually feel like buying weed. Like I should be able to be at that point, keeps that point. And I'm not like, no, I'm not even close. Like something's wrong with what I got going on. So it's one of the things I thought, but also in the name of science and potential solutions, I've been growing out the grow dots. And I've yet to throw anything into bloom. I think I'm about 2.5, 3 weeks into bloom or veg. So they got like what, a 5-6 week veg area, or before you flip them in their whatever nutrient lifespan, whatever in the cycle. You know what I mean? I hope, unless I just confuse the shit out of you. But so a couple more weeks I can flip them, and we'll see how what the yields work out on those. I've heard from some of our friends that they've had some pretty happy results for themselves. So we'll see. That could be the thing, or maybe I got to go back to a little bit of hydro newts for a bit, and while I smaller scale, fucking try and figure out what the fuck I'm doing wrong with my living soil. I'm at a loss. And it's frustrating, and you know, and it's aggravating at the same time. I'm like, god damn, because I know I can do better. Because I just finished growing off a bunch of plants that I've had around for multiple runs now, right? Like the mother of sloth lettuce, that end game. I've grown that out quite a few times now. And like when you're sitting there and looking at everything while it's still alive and on the stem, you're like, shit, yeah, I'll probably fucking get a pretty decent fucking pull out of this. And then it's like, when it starts to dry and shrivel, you're just, wow, that's like, yes, I've been growing long enough. I know how much I'm usually going to lose with my aquarium, but it seems like a little less or a little bit more, but I think the buds are also not as dense, right? That'll have a lot to do with if you have a light airy bud, it'll fucking shrivel up to next to nothing. So maybe I don't know. It's just that's what I've got going on in my mind right now. Just trying to grind this up real quick. Actually, might even still be a little bit damp to be smoking on. That's also one of the reasons for me doing a little bit of a salad style joint on this. The Gorilla Skittles dried out really nice and easy for me. Catahoula, she's a little bit wet and damp still. So, let's see how this turns out here. Might have to put that aside and just start doing some ripping some dabs with y'all. Well, that might burn. That might burn. She might just do it for me. So, how was everyone's day? I had a fucking wicked day. I was out falling trees all day. Very minimal slash, which is, the hard shit that I don't like doing. But straight just fucking dropping hazard trees. We had our young fella up in the boom. He would go anything that was tall enough to strike. He'd cut the top off it and just fucking drop a great big stem and on to the next one. Who's my body doesn't hurt ridiculously like it usually does after a long hard day's labor. So we're liking that. So that right there should be worth doing a dab right fucking there. I'll see if I'll put this away. I'll see if I can navigate this and keep you guys entertained and do a dab all at the same time. It might be a little bit high, or maybe a little bit not high enough for the multitasking. Once again, y'all, freaking G-Bay, he's pooping. He'll be here soon, hopefully. And until then, I'll just, I'll do what I can to keep this show rolling. So I'll get this heated up. And now, when I get this torch roaring, you guys are going to have to sing a song or something like that. And we'll do a little, how's the Frere Jacques? Does that sound good? Can we all sing to that tune of that? All right, you Muff, you take the lead, brother. I'm still rocking the propane torch, the green bottle here. I ran out of butane like a week ago, and in emergency, like, oh shit kind of situation, because there was nowhere in town that would be open for me to get butane with at that hour. I was like, well, okay, I got green bottles of propane, those bad boys outside. And I was like, I have a torch head somewhere. And I actually managed to locate it in pretty quick time, which is even more impressive given the fact that, like, I hadn't seen it in about just like 2.5 years since right around the time I moved in with my immortal beloved there. Yeah, so it's, but yeah, I don't know, it's like I searched for like 5, maybe 10 minutes there and I found it. So as much as I would rather be using my old faithful fucking torch here, it's I don't know. I don't think to buy butane when I'm in town doing shit because it's not a pressing need for butane. I come home and I'm like, oh yeah, the propane torch. Like, shit, I really should get some butane. And then, but if I came home and there was like no butane, no propane torch for me to use, I'd be fucking, wouldn't even be taking my the boots would already be off, I suppose, but I wouldn't even be sitting down. I'd go to sit down and be like, oh yeah, back to the fucking store, get your ass some butane so you can get some dabs going on. But, the propane's letting it slide. It's good stuff we got going on there. All right, see, and I open up the chat and then I get sidetracked. Cheers, Justin Bean. Great to see you. How you doing, Giant Grasses? I was gonna call you Giant Grasses. Sorry about that. Giant Grasses. Great to see you. My banger is always on fire. That thing is the oldest, the blackest, the darkest. It's and I don't swab it out, so I'll just torch out any residue that's in there and let it burn. Cheers, Smart Poker. Great to see you. I'm not sure. Am I moose soup or am I maple syrup? Maybe y'all can answer that. And which is GB? I see small pork, moose soup, and maple syrup in there, and I just realized it could be one or the other. Or how does all that work out? So, see if y'all have any answers to that one in there. So, I was just talking about a little bit about the grow dots. I'm happy with what I'm seeing so far in veg state. It's a lot of nitrogen in there. Like, wow, with the grape diamonds cuts that I had in there, well, seedlings actually were they were starting to fade because living in solo cups and not overly happy. Once again, me trying to do organic, so you got to be a little bit more careful, right? They'll feed through your stuff a little bit faster, and they were starting to fade. And I put them in, and within a couple days, they were already noticeably greener. I was like, oh, that's really cool. Now they're getting pretty big and tall, and I'm just like, okay, yes, I like this. I like this. I had a really sick Catahoula clone, and Catahoula is that's my jam. That's my favorite strain that I've got in our current rotation. And I, it was in bad shape to the point where I was worried I might actually lose it. And I fed it some grow dots, and it looked like shit for about a week. And then after about a week, it started coming around, getting a little bit darker. Now it's starting to grow, and it's once again, the leaves are just dark and starting to fill out. So I transplanted that into a big, I want to say about a 7-gallon sip, the green sips that I use, filled with cocoa. And we're going to run that and see how well that does. I'm really kind of excited to see how that one works out there. And then also I got the grapple fritters. Shout out to Adam. I don't see you in the chat, but hopefully you'll be get to see this. So you get to hear the shout out at least. That is very true there, Sniff. Live chat much better than spider mites, and since we're talking about top chat live chat, figured. All right, now that you're all in live chat, let's get back to that grapple fritter I was starting to talk about. Well, you don't want to hear this one. One sec. All right, you didn't want to hear the lung butter rattling in your ears. I promise that. So the grapple fritters, they're probably week 4 or 5-ish by now into bloom. I'll have to actually look into that and starting to come along and looking good. The clones that I had in the cloner, that number one, which is my favorite, the one that reminds me of something I used to have so far, it started rooting for me really, really fast. And I was like, okay, liking that. And then when I transplanted, they started doing weird shit. Colton was showing he had some weird effed up tops on the morning show last week or maybe the last couple weeks. And my clones are doing that too. And I'm like, okay, what's that? And so I've been watching their show, and I actually might have a little bit of answers for that. And thinking it could be they're going from no nutrients to just high nutrients, depending on what's in there, and kind of rattling their shit, because now that there's a little bit of, they've had time to get used to it, they're starting to straighten out a bit. So hopefully they're coming out of that. But also the second and the third phenos, they didn't root for shit. They are just now starting to throw decent sets of roots, and I am, well, for however long they are flipped into bloom, those mother plants, that's how old the other ones are into the cloner right now, because I cut those and flipped them all on the same day. So we're looking at, I just said 4, maybe 5 weeks, and they're just starting to throw decent sets of roots out. Like, that's crazy. But I also, I don't want to say that's for, that I don't want to say that's a cultivar specific thing. I feel like it's more of, I have issues with my turbo cloner as of lately. I can't figure out what it is, but where I keep it, it seems like the right-hand side, it's a 48 site cloner. So what's that? 8 rows of 6. I apologize. My math is not my strong suit, even at my best at times, and I'm high as shit right now. So good luck. But I think that is how it is. And so But it's like the 3 over on the far northernmost right, those will do better than everything typically, and start throwing roots out. And then you get the things that are on the far left hand side that they'll take longer, and I can't figure out what my deal is on there. So it's, yeah, I thought about maybe I should go back to propagation dome and the black trays and stuff. What's going on, G-Bay?
Oh, I got a story. You finish yours because mine's going to take the rest of the show.
Oh, I will just start talking. I think I kind of petered out that little cloning part of it, so you kind of jumped in right about the right time.
Yeah, it's been a bit for Mr. Markey here. I one thing after the other dominoes, man. When life starts to life, man, it's good. So here's it goes. It's not cannabis related, but there's some of that involved too. Just a bunch of seedlings wouldn't sprout. Getting them to crack, but they're not taking off. Sorry if you guys hear the fans going. So that was pissing me off. That was getting me going, kind of riled up. Came to the conclusion, soil's a little too hot. It's all old, re-amended stuff. It's been through the cycle a few times. Probably not ideal for seedlings. Came to that conclusion. So I backed out, got myself some inert mix. We're going to go that route with that. Moving on to my life. I'm a nice guy, right? So some guy's got a dead battery the other day at work. I say, no problem. My red truck's right up there. You do what you need to do, sir. Boost away. The motherfucker fried my alternator. Yeah. So I don't know who the guy is. There's no tracing that down to get anyone to pay for my alternator. So I took a $300 hit on that, plus a day off work, which is about 5 bills. Do the math. That's not very nice right before Christmas. Today I'm at work, back at work to make some money, right? And the wife phones me, furnace induction, whatever the fuck it's called. It went again. It just went 3 weeks ago, and I spent $350 on that, putting that back in there. So that happened. And then I went this evening and bought a humidifier that didn't work.
You can't catch a break to save your life.
I'm ready to, like I was talking to Sniff. I said, if you were going to bet on a kid in a boxing match, it would be me today. And I will fucking murder people. I'm so fucking livid. Like,
well, dude, let's get on. We could be rich. I'll put money on you.
I'm not mad like at anything. I'm not mad. Like, I'm not violent. Like, not in that sense. Like, that was a bad analogy. But stop. Just stop.
I bet you I got at least. I bet you I got at least $5 in my pocket. What kind of odds are we talking here, dude?
Pick somebody. I don't care. Pick the HVAC guy that sold me that shitty fucking fan.
Yeah. Come on. We've all wanted to curb stomp someone like that before in life, right?
So
I'm not saying we actually do it. I'm not saying we actually do it, but let's face it. We've all been there where we've been sold faulty parts. My beef is my fucking computer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's my good comparison to that, where it's, you drop good money on, and I get it. Stuff happens, stuff breaks, and that's why they offer warranties and stuff like that. Shit happens. But when you just paid good hard-earned money to have a service done on your furnace, something you rely on to keep your fucking family alive up here in these cold Canadian winters, and it just, not even a month later, you're doing it again. I get it, man.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I've come to the conclusion. This is the type of plastic that the fan was made out of.
Oh,
real nice, eh? So I got rid of the fan, and I've ordered a metal one. So I talked to the HVAC guy, made sure I had the right dimensions, right everything. So I've taken all the plastic fans off. Now I'm going to replace them with a metal one. Break that one. So
get back to nice and sharp. Anyone fucks with it, will lose a finger.
Yeah, exactly, right? So going back to the humidifier, I'm like, not a problem. I'm smart. There's only a couple of fucking parts on these things. It's nucleating the water, whatever the hell it does, bubbling, witch's brew. It's doing that part, but it's not coming up the stem. So I'm thinking to myself, well, that's the small little fan that's in there. So I go to take the bottom off. They have all like Phillips head or star head screws, except one is like a locking nut, kind of locking screw thing, like something you'd put on a fucking set of car rims. Like, you know what I mean? One oddball, weird.
Well, dude, I hate those. And I Dave, remind me the story about the locking nut later. I don't want to sideline your shit, but try and remind me after. And
so I'm like, okay. I got Allen keys of all fucking shapes and sizes. Little torque keys. I got them all, man. There's okay. It's like a star-shaped kind of thing, but then they've got a pin in the center too, sticking straight up. So you can't use a solid like hex. So I just grabbed it and ripped the fucking thing in half. Well, that stud that fucking screw was in the bottom of the water reservoir. So now there's a hole in the bottom of the water reservoir. So I epoxied it and fucking siliconed it and gooped it all up again. And I tested it and tested it and tested it. And then I ripped the wires off the fan by accident, like somehow. So now it's completely. And then I looked at the time and it was 7:55. That's when I put everything down, took a deep breath, almost cried, and then came inside and talked to Cariboo. Who's like, bud, take the reins for a minute here. I'm going to go fucking have a cold face, fucking shower, and a fucking prayer. I'll be back.
Dude, I was getting ready to try carry show it too. I was like, because I'm good for, for Monday morning shows. I've shown that I'm good for 20, 30 minutes usually. I can talk for, but I was going to see if I can go for an hour. Because I was just like, I get it, man. When shit starts to just fucking grenade on you. And it's oftentimes it does seem to happen right before a show, within the hour before leading up to the show kind of thing. And it's the last fucking thing you want to be. So I was like, dude, I got this. I'm happy you're here now, though. So I got somebody to smoke pot with.
Yeah, I was like, I need to sit down and smoke pot. I had to I'm like, hey, I've done enough today, man. Not succeeded at any of it. So just fucking go try again tomorrow, bud.
But that's the thing. Sometimes is what it takes. You just got to actually take that step back, put it down, walk the fuck away, even though, everything's telling you to deal with it, and come back with a little bit of calmer
yeah,
approach.
So I got the soldering iron out. I'm ready to go resolder those wires onto the fan. Hopefully the silicone dries and I can use that humidifier. It was only $25, so if I've got to toss it, I got to toss it. But I don't want to. That's my life for about 2 months now. Ross, man, I fucking feel you, buddy. Let's just all hang out and enjoy each other's company and think of the positive. And the holidays are coming. And
shit, Jeff Paula trimming up some grape diamonds. Is that actual grape diamonds, or is that a grape diamonds cross that I sent your way, Jeff? I'd be very curious to know about that. Let's I don't know how many of you are aware, but our brother Jeff there is from the land down under. I sent him a care package. I think that was earlier this year, late last year, early this year, something like that. And I just, every once in a while he'll send me, DM me some pictures of my stuff growing down there. And I just to me, that is just so cool. So I really hope that if you grew that out and give it a test smoke there, Jeff, I really hope it does meet your expectation. Well, no, I hope it exceeds your expectations. Is what I hope, and that you're really happy with that, dude, because that's just. Then once again, I'll start putting together another package for you here. It'll go out sometime early New Year. Awesome. It is what I said. I like to hear that, man. What kind of terps do you got in there? Does it actually have the grapey terps, or is it a little bit of a fuel in there? Because I'm thinking if it's Grape Diamonds Machine. I don't know. There's a few things I touched it with, so it's really hard for me to say. Sit here talking to the live chat. It's okay, G-Bay. You can just. You're on mute.
I'm looking at Sniff's comment. The raised pin is a security bit on a fucking humidifier. People what the? I don't get it. They're worried someone's gonna take it all apart and lick the wires.
Dude, do you see the warning labels they got to put on shit nowadays?
Yeah, I guess. You ever went by someone's lit garage and heard a grown man just yell "fuck" loud?
Oh yeah.
I bet you somebody tonight got that for a treat. They're probably just walk a little faster.
Dude, I remember I've told the story about our collie dog Bob where he had the shits and was running all across our sectional fucking couch and shitting while he does it, up on my kid's bed, shitting. That was one of those moments where I just, because I walked in the house and there was shit everywhere before I could even get up the stairs to the main floor. and you could the smell and everything. And so I'm like, what the fuck? And you know, because you're kind of a little bit freaked out. You're not even looking at the dog yet, and the dog hears you fucking getting agitated, and he starts getting, because he's such a hyper freaking dog as it is. I used to call him Anxiety Bob. You should like fuck fireworks in that poor thing, right? Like loud noises. He didn't do loud very well. But anyways, I'm just like, like you're shitting on my couch, and I'm looking at you, like get outside, trying to just. And but he hears the yelling, and he's like, oh, like freaking out, and I'm like,
lays another one.
I just want you outside. Quit shitting in my house, please. Get off the furniture. You're shitting.
All right, I'm gonna fire up my YouTube to get the chat. It may be on volume, so you might get a little. Furniture. You're shitting. I'm gonna fire up my. Oh, I turned it on. All I got was, "Oh, you're on the furniture and shitting." Sorry, I usually have this stuff done before the show starts, folks. But I'm just. Today's not today's day.
Sometimes you just gotta take that mulligan. Well, I guess I took all the sunshine away from you or something, because I had a fucking great day. I woke up and I'm sitting right here as I usually do, doing my morning routine, drinking coffee, friggin' watching YouTube or whatever. I look out and it's like, oh shit, that looks like it snowed. I go outside and I look, and it snowed about 4 or 5 inches. Oh, fuck, that sucks, because it does. And so it's the first decent dump of snow we've had this year. We got a couple inches the other day. And then, so we go to work, and it's going to be a little bit of a slow going day, but we're way out in the middle of, like, we're boondocking it pretty hard out there. And we were trying to get into this site across a couple farmers' fields to go do hazard trees. We were just fucking dropping hazard trees. Like, a lot of them were just aspens that are leaning in and in danger of being snow pressed into the lines. So they just had us go through, and basically we had the young fella up in the boom truck knocking the fucking tops off these things. And as soon as they were low enough that they couldn't hit the lines, I just fucking dumped them. But having fun with it too, like where you're sitting there, your tree's leaning over this way, and you're like, I'm like, I want to put it over there type stuff. And just, having fun. Everything's low enough that you're not in danger, hurting nothing. Just wait for him to maybe move the boom truck first so you don't hit that if something does go wrong.
It's a true skill, man. And, you're playing a lottery, too, because you never know what the wood's going to do sometimes, man. It could be rotten in some spots, whatever. I've seen them, like, twist and shit. And drop off and fucking do all weird shit.
Yeah, it was a fun day. It's days like today where I really enjoy working in the snow. Like I said, there's probably maybe 6 inches by the end of the day because it snowed a little bit throughout. But it was like -5-ish. I'd like it a little closer to -10 so you don't get cold, wet. But it was like you're warm, you're comfortable, and there's only that much snow, so you're not getting soaking wet. And just like, this is just a nice day, man.
The days for me in the winter, it's like when it's like one of those really crisp blue skies and it's really fucking cold, so the snow's not melting on you and shit. Yeah. I'm bundled, right? So and I'm welding something or whatever, and I can just lay down, and it's like nice, soft, fucking cushy snow. It's like, oh yeah, got the radio going and sun shining. That was the day.
Yeah, it's good to get about that. And the other thing is, so I'm working on a crew with a couple of young fellas. And I'm loving it. Like, I turned 42. Was it next week? No, next week or the week after. It's soon. I turned 42. And I think between the two of these kids, they equal 45. So I think one's 20 and the other's 25. And actually, the 20-year-old is the foreman because he's just a fucking young kid that he's fucking hot and horny to earn a living and make money and stuff like that. And I'm like, you go, boy. young man. You do your shit. But it's awesome because they show me a fair bit of respect, and the fact that I fucking am damn near twice as the age of them. I am over twice Stewie's age, and like we get out there, we work hard, we kill it. They'll let me do most of the cutting, and they'll do most of the dragging, brush if there is brush to drag, and like we just slaughter sites. Like we've been averaging like 25-30 sites a day, which is pretty freaking big numbers, right? I think like 10 to 15 is your typical average day. Anytime you're doing piecework, your sites will fucking vary. Some sites are bigger than others, so but trying to average out and put a number out there for you guys. So it's fun, man, and you get that youthful energy. It's cool.
Yeah. No, work was good for me today. That's funny when work is the best part of your day, really. You know what I mean? Like it was the part that was uneventful and shit. So.
Yeah, I remember there's times I remember like about 5 years ago now. One of the guys I work with, he was going through a divorce situation, and his situation was way worse than what I went through. And we ride this guy all day, every day as it is, because he's always saying stupid shit that gives you that retort, right? To go back and kind of nail him. And then one day, me and Craig are sitting there, and we're just kind of realize, like this is actually probably the best part of his days coming to work with us. And like we're like, we treat him like shit. We don't actually treat him like shit, but we're hard on him. We're always, you know how it is, G-Bay. You work in the trades. A lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. And I kind of realized that's wow. So we kind of started a little bit nicer and stuff like that, because you realize that this probably is almost like therapy. It gives them a chance to get out of the house, hang out with the boys, kind of thing. And then when I went through all that stuff too with the divorce, and it was the same kind of thing. That's one of the reasons why I chose not to do aerial work anymore, because when I go to work, and that's the best part of your day, because you're all stressed out. And when you're at work, you get to, at least you're too busy to think about anything else, just what's in front of you. And then, but all of a sudden you're doing these freaking ridiculous trees that, they want you to freaking climb 90 feet up a dead fucking tree, and again, then fire up your chainsaw and start cutting, right? And I'm just like in the wind, like that's, and I'm like, nah, I don't have the mindset for that kind of stuff. And it's just, yeah. And I was going somewhere with that, but I'm kind of high. And
oh yeah, and another thing that, sorry to be on the negative, but I'm just trying to.
Let's hear it.
The plastic shitty fan that these furnaces use, or whatever, must be made of some like really shitty plastic. I went to use crazy glue on it, because the second one that broke wasn't that bad. I figured I might be able to patch it up, right? No, the crazy glue did some sort of weird reaction with that plastic, and fucking, yeah, it was like chemical soup. Like, really?
Weird.
Yeah, put that down and walk away. Burnt my eyes and shit. I'm like, get out of here.
Get you all laughed up from the fumes and shit.
I didn't stick around to figure it out.
But, you know what I want to do real quick? I want to shout out all our Patreon supporters. We haven't done that in a bit, so it's the thing that we should be doing, since they are awesome and they help support the show. As you know, I like to say it, live chat makes a rock around here, but Patreon supporters and the Buy Me a Coffee supporters also make it roll. So let's go with the Patreon first. We'll go with the oldest, the most senior, I guess we would say. Crazy Pop Mom, BC Stoner Mom, Chef Paula the Great, Hypathetical Genetics, my brother Sniff, Ziggy's Garden, Noob Grows, 311 Mixed Up, Day Neutral Preserves, Thunder Dan, High and Tight, Kingfisher, 2 Cents, Blue Kiss Gardens, Delman, and Couch Flyer. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show, and you help pay the little bit of bills that we do have around here. And now we're trying to take the Patreon funds and use that towards help to make something happen with this Niagara Falls trip that we're planning for August, which is going to be a lot of fun. But we got another one, our Buy Me a Coffee, which we are using as we're using that to raise money for our brother Terp, who is currently locked up for nothing more than growing cannabis. So we want to shout out those of you that have been donating to his fund. Right off once again, we'll start with the most senior. We have Hooli, you've been a big donator there, brother. Green Widow, thank you so much. Lone Star Larf, Tube Ernst, you've been donating. Thank you so much. Ty Sticks, thank you, brother. I see you in live chat. Jay Patrick, you as well. Lobster, thank you so much. Someone, thank you. We don't know who you are, but hopefully you're watching and you're hearing this. And also Anova, thank you so much. If you're not quite fully aware yet, what we're doing is Terp was locked up. What was that? It doesn't matter how long ago. I mean, when he was arrested, he basically didn't even have shoes on his feet. And so he's got nothing to look forward to, not a bus ticket or anything. Until you guys stepped in and helped and are still helping to change that. The idea is Fluff is looking to be able to walk up and put cash in hand. And if we can raise enough money, maybe we can get him a place to rent for a month so that when he gets out of jail, he can concentrate and we can put maybe food in his cupboards. That way, brother can focus on finding a job and maintaining gainful employment. We all know, or if you don't know exactly the statistics, we've all heard about the statistics and people getting out of jail and going back in. We want to be able to prevent that and keep this brother out doing good things. If you don't know who we're talking about, every morning this week, except for Tuesday, I don't want to fuck with the Tuesday morning show at all when not knowing exactly when they'll end or anything. So Tuesday is their day, but Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and again tomorrow morning, I've been airing Terp's first episodes. We started off number 1 on Monday. Number 2, I believe, was Tuesday, and then I did some kind of weird, put him in the wrong spots. I think, the numbers are all left up. But tomorrow morning, I believe he's going to go into breeding autoflowers a bit. And I think this is the episode where he actually shattered my illusions of becoming an autoflower breeder. I had started working on it, trying to my own cross with, I think it was an Widow Afghani to an Exodus cheese auto. And then he told me, you're going to have to do a whole bunch of generations to make that happen. And but anyways, check those out. Those won't be on the channel for very long. Those will probably get deleted after a few weeks, probably, or at least when he's out of jail at the very least, because we've got the originals. Like I said, this is going back to Cariboo Hart TV, like episodes like 10 and 11 type stuff. I think tomorrow's is either 14 or 15, so that's really cool. You get to see some OGs. I believe this morning was Indica B's debut with the show. It's pretty impressive how a lot of members within this community, who some you see doing other stuff and others that are no longer podcasting but still doing a lot of other cool stuff out in the community. A lot of them got their start right here. Shout out to cannabis. Cannabis is a huge thing to do with that. So anyways, that's my sales pitch and my thank yous for everybody that supports us on Patreon and everybody that supports Terp on the Buy Me a Coffee Fund. If you're looking for links to click, those will be in the show description below. Please click those up. And then the other thing is hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's see how many likes we can get on tonight's show. And so I would like to, I don't think it's happening now. I think it's damn near impossible. I think today's the 14th and we're sitting at something like 1,301 subscribers. I don't think we're getting 200 in the next 2 weeks. I would love to be proven wrong. Please prove me wrong on that. I'm a realist.
Pass it on to your friends, folks.
Yeah. Share us real quick. Maybe we could make it happen. That'd be a great birthday present. I would take that. I would love that. Cheers, Smiley.
So getting back to my seeds not doing well for the last little while. I have just been using re-amended soil, like putting it back in the bin and mixing it up and whatnot. And this is the first time that I've every seedling I put into this mix gone. It's been probably 5 or 6 now. And 2 that have taken are taking their sweet time. So it's I wonder what I did wrong. Just too hot, I guess, obviously.
That very well could be it. If I try and start seedlings in soil, I'll usually just do straight peat or straight cocoa, like your Pro Mix or whatever, and go that way. But like I said, I have failures that way. I do paper towel and fuck what anyone else has to say about it. It's Ford, it's Chevy, it's Dodge, it's apples, it's oranges, it's what's your personal preference. They all work for each of us better than the other options because, that's for whatever reason, either we've devoted more time to it and learning that way, or, just maybe our conditions in our grow areas are better. I don't know, but everybody's got their own, and it's And there's no wrong answer. That to me that is the thing. There is no wrong answer to the germination question as long as it gets the job done. Now, for me personally, paper towels and plate with saran wrap over it. It works every time. So I don't
mess with it.
I'm really good at fucking shit up. So when I got things that actually work for me, I should probably just stick with it. It's in my own best interest. It's a lot less stressful.
Paper towel method works for me quite often. Yeah, it's just I usually use it. I'm trying to do just straight soil, but this stuff is a little hot, I guess. So I've got some Jiffy pellets that I'm using. I'm trying because they're just a peat mix.
Yeah.
And what else did I get? Where's the bag of it? Yeah, no one around here right now sells anything decent, really. It's winter time, right? So everyone's got all their stuff put away. Or I don't have a grocery store local. All I have is large department stores, right? So I didn't have very many brands to choose from. I believe this is probably Scott's or something. Fuck, who knows what the fuck this is.
Thank you for making me sound smart. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Seed starting mix.
Okay.
So I figured, okay, I'll go right to something that's designed for it. I couldn't get my regular Pro Mix. Like, store said it was in stock. I asked the lady, and she's like, "Oh, they're probably buried somewhere." I'm like, "Well, fuck, okay. I guess if that's the answer, I'm moving on."
Yeah.
I was able to get this. I don't know, but I think this might be a little too much.
I've heard that actually. People, when you buy your and I have no personal experience with buying bagged living soils like that, but I have heard people, Fox Farms, Guy Green does one, a couple other different, there's a bunch of them, and they say seedlings, fresh clones, and stuff like that. Be careful.
Well, it's 0.2, 0.1, 0.08, so it's not great.
It's not super strong.
No, but I'll get them going in that seed starting mix. Because the seed starting mix is like the same thing. That's the thing. It's 0.04, 0.04, 0.04. So it's not half as much. Okay. Talking my ass now. But yeah, we'll try them in that. I have a couple in some peat pellets in here doing their thing. And then we'll see. But I only put them there yesterday, so I'm gonna wait till at least tomorrow night. The weekend, see what happens. Got roots on the clones though. They're not looking too crazy, but the roots are popping. Calluses are starting to form, and there's some have actual roots. So
nice. I got same thing with my grapples. I finally got decent roots on all three sets of phenos there. So hoping I could. Those will be. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of those, all three of them, and I'm gonna cross that with that male sloth lettuce that I have. He's been sitting there in a 1 gallon pot, desperately needing a freaking a step up in living conditions to a bigger pot, and it's happier and shit. It gets watered way more often than anything else because it's at that point where it needs it because its roots are so big in that pot. But it's like, goddamn. Such a big happy plant, man. I've got to do something with it. It's it's my boy. You're my boy, Blue.
Oh fuck. Just losing so many seeds in a row was getting to me. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
See, and that's why I do with what I know. And like I said, anybody that's your germination method is different for you. Awesome. Do it. Stick with it. Well, unless you're wanting to fuck shit up. It sucks when I don't mind getting experimental with say genetics that I've made because I know I've got a near endless supply of them, more than I'll ever go through in my life. So it's a good time to get experimental and play with stuff. Doing big seed runs and shit like that. In fact, when I was looking through old videos there, looking to find those old terp videos, I went back to the early days of the channel And I found a video where I show how many seeds I was germinating for my White Widow Afghanis. And like, I think I had ended up with 5 or 6 different phenos by the time it was said and done, but it was like 120 or 150 seeds that I germinated or something like that. I was like, holy fuck, you see the paper towels on 2 different plates that are just fucking, looks like you fucking just threw handfuls on them. It's good stuff.
I'm trying to figure out what Hoolie's saying here. He says, eats the damn seeds. It's trippy. Like he's saying like hot soil, kind of like eats. I don't know. Like it's weird with the ones I've been doing, man. Like the tail of the fucking root disappears and shit. And I'm like, I thought it was those soil mites at first, but I don't see them anymore. So it's not that, like, I don't know. I found a grub in there. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I guess one of the pots I grabbed off the back deck or something. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like, so I did like a big soil drench. I went to the store. I tried to get like the grub be gone stuff you can put in there just to make sure. So I think I might have to take those few pots I have and dump that soil just to get the fuck.
So what I'm gonna do here is Fluff's been bugging me about this one. He gave me a recipe for an IPM that I've kind of followed in half measures, and it was what I mean by only that is only having parts of the recipe and going nuts with that without the full thing. So the recipe is like cast iron soap. So I went and got some tea tree cast iron soap here, ordered off of Amazon.
Okay.
And then you put that, some 99% isopropyl, which I also picked up today, and then some 29% peroxide, which I've got a gallon of sitting in the bathroom, and mix that with a few essential oils. And then I thought he was talking about originally using it as a spray, and that's how I was using it. But he mentioned when I showed him that I had this, he mentioned something about a root drench, soil drench, whatever. So I think I might be doing that as well. I've got stuff that's in bloom that can stay there and do its thing, and hopefully I can not fuck it up too much. And then I've got all those sloth lettuces that need to be grown out and fucked around still too. So I'm like, So I think what I'm getting at is everything in veg, I think, is going to get a really good root drenching and hopefully and sprayed down. And hopefully I can finally get rid of all these. That's probably a good idea, Smiley. Probably a really good idea. Because usually I will go and do a test on a single plant by itself. But then there's other times where you'll be smoking joints, because I like to get high before I go work in the garden. That is one of my things. And let's face it, sometimes you might get a little bit too high, maybe get a little bit too forgetful. And then you just go in the garden with a head of steam and you just start spraying everything. Or if you're doing a bunch of here's another one that I just got myself bad. I did a bunch of transplanting, and I tried upping my dry amendment amounts that I put on there. And once again, instead of just trying it on a couple to see, I put it on everything, and I just nuked the shit out of a bunch of plants. All those sloth lettuce I was just talking about, except for the male in the 1 gallon plant, those could have all been flipped 2 weeks ago. Except for my dumbass had to fucking burn the shit out of them, and they're just now getting to the point where they're recovered enough where I can think about flipping them. That's how dumb I am.
I kind of, you heard my soap story a few weeks ago. That didn't help my plants out. Fuck. That's part of that whole fucking awesome December here. Yeah, they didn't like that when you put, I guess, triple dose insecticidal soap on it. Yeah. Couldn't breathe, damn it. You said got the bugs, but got the plants in the process too.
Well, that's actually, you're still saying you're Jason there, that you're still dreaming about the White Widow Afghani. I remember sending you beans there when your baby was born there. You grow that out. What was your thoughts on that one? Is that one worth taking to F2? Because that's another one that I've thought about going back to. I've heard some pretty positive things about that one, and It's already sitting at an F2 stage. So I go back, worked it. What I would actually really like is if you go back and listen to, I think it was either this morning's episode or the first episode with Terp, where Rick and I are talking about our friend Mike, who's a mutual friend of ours. Mike actually has, or at least had, the seeds from the most White Widow leaning plant that I had. He said he was going through a down spot where he was thinking about getting out of growing because he had a couple bad harvests in a row. And you know how demoralizing that can be. I'm going through that right now with my shitty fucking harvest weights. And so he was like, oh, but I'd like to grow some of your beans. And so I fucking cut the plant, right there in front of them, threw it in an overweighty bag. It's a plastic shopping bag to our American friends who don't know, or even maybe G-Bay might not even know what that is. It's your regular grocery store kind of thing. It used to be around 20 years ago. They changed their name, and I still call it what they used to be 20 years ago. But anyways, I threw the plant in the shopping bag, handed it to him, and to the best of my knowledge, I never he never grew them out. I remember asking if I could get a handful of those beans back because there was a little bit there where people were starting to give some pretty positive reviews about it. And that was the pheno that I wanted to grow out. Okay, fuck, that's a very cool fucking thanks for that one, man.
Yeah, sometimes you send a bunch of tester seeds out, and that's exactly all that happens.
That's, you know what? I honestly, I would say 98 to 99% of the seeds I've sent out, I've not heard back about. So when I do, I really sincerely appreciate that. Guys, so you know what? Hit me up in DMs. Let me know in the show notes right here. And if it's shit, let me know. You're not going to hurt my feelings. We say everything I've ever sent out at this point is considered a tester. I've never charged a penny, and a lot of it is just me trying to work on silly little things and just, it, and see if I can have some fun, and if other people can have some fun with it as well. Because I've been thinking, you're saying the Super Girl, that would actually be Spider Girl, which is my CBD dominant line there. I think I'm going to do a run of that this year to try and take that to F3. So this is my New Year's kind of ish goalies that I got run on. So sloth lettuce is going to F2. And then there'll be a bunch of like grapple fritter crosses in there as well, because I just want to see what's going to happen there. That could be amazing. And then I'm going to do a Spider Girl run, and there'll probably be one other run, maybe grapple F2s, or maybe some sour diesels, because I got those sour diesels who sent me my way doing their thing. But I think they're going to do like 3 breeding runs this year, I think. And just they're going to be a lot more well thought out, a lot more planned. It's always been my habit to make sure I've always got something breeding at all times, or, whether it's in bloom, veg stage, getting ready to go to bloom, or if it's in bloom, doing its thing. Always got something. And I'm trying not to, because another thing is too much seedy weed is, did you hear that? It's not good. So yeah, we're trying to chill that out.
Oh yeah, no, that's Smiley shouting out the sloth lettuce there. It's like, it's such a different name. It catches you.
You know, Smiley, if you're interested in growing that out, brother, hit me in the DMs with an address, and I'll send you a package of beans, brother. Yeah.
Yep. He's got and Jason line there. He's talking about Hawaiian snow. I've got some seeds en route from Hawaii. I was looking for Malachi Frost, which is an but it's an older strain. Just something that's kind of like Hawaiian known. I'm a tropical guy. Like, I love the pineapple flavors and the fruits and stuff like that. So I was told I've got Malachi Snow coming. So I'll have to look into that. Maybe that's a cross. Malachi Frost cross Hawaiian Snow. Either way, it's going to be something good, hopefully.
That's the Spider Girl F2s that Heart and Soul Homegrown's talking about there. So that's actually really exciting. You're the first person I'm aware of that's growing those Spider Girl F2s. I haven't even gotten a chance to get to those yet. They're kind of they're not right at the top of the to-do list. They're like a tier down. You know what I mean? They're not quite at the mid tier. We want to get to them. So hey, once again, guys, invade my DMs with pictures, comments, negative, positive. I can take it. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Trust me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got I've preemptively put the 110 into flower. Like I was waiting for the cloner to be rooted and some of them to be planted, you know, to move the gardens along. But I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just take the chance. And I flipped it, was say December 10th, so not very long ago, 4 days ago. And I'm getting roots today, so that's good. There we go. That happened. That's one thing that's coming my way. And yeah, once these are the strains that I'm no longer keeping around anyway. So like the cloner strains are still in veg anyway, so that doesn't really matter. But this tent, it was just a bunch of strains that I'm no longer keeping in the garden. And I just, you know, it's like, well, what better way to send them off than to flower them out, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, well, some of them are testers still. Some of them are on be their last round. We got animal cookies that'll no longer be around. And what else is in there? I've got a fluffer nutter that's just being flowered by itself, just once indoors to see what it does. Yeah, because I only grew it outdoor as that fast flower, like it's a tester, right? And it fast flowered on me. It was really, really nice, but it's got a pretty strong terp to it. It's like, it's not like a fruity, or it's not really that desirable is what I'm kind of getting at. It's kind of au natural. It's, yeah. But the effect, potent. It's good, man. Got me all flushed out the other day. I smoked it and I kind of got hot in the face and like felt guilty and like paranoid and shit. I was like, what's going on? I'm all fucking, who's watching me? I'm too high right now.
I did that. I fuck was that yesterday morning or this morning? I can't remember, but like I woke up way too fucking early. It's just typical. And just, you know, I come down and yeah, I think it might have been yesterday. And I just started sampling the weed that we had cut there towards the end of last week. It's still green. It's not cured out, but it's, you know, just like, let's do some sample data or joints and shit like that. So it was like 3:30 in the morning and I'm already fucking chain smoking joints. And then off to work. So I've got to ask the question. I think I mentioned it last Thursday, but I haven't heard of any plans nailed down yet for the Friday night. So I got to put it out there. Does anyone want to go see Def Leppard and Journey at the Sky Dome Friday, August 2nd? There's a good chance that the whole thing will get kiboshed because if the booth crew does have something going on Friday night when we nail down a location, there's a really appealing looking place, possibly in Hamilton, that Jay Patrick sent me, native land, and said weed should not be a problem because they sell weed out there. So it could be another thing for people crossing borders and shit like that, you know. Could be an idea. And from what I could see on the map, Hamilton's about halfway between Toronto and Niagara Falls. Maybe not quite.
Yeah, it's past Toronto on the way there. You know.
So yeah, it's kind of anyways, yeah, they announced that tour. Tickets go on sale to general public tomorrow. I'm not buying them anytime soon if I do go. I'll just put that out there. But you know me, I love live music. And when I heard that tour announced, I was like, oh, I wonder if they're coming anywhere near me or in Toronto while I'm there. And sure enough, they're playing like the day right after Green Day. Like, how fucking amazing would that be, dude? Go see Sammy Hagar and Loverboy on July 31st. The next day, Rancid, Smashing Pumpkins, and Green Day. And then the day after that, go see Heart, Journey, and for Def Leppard. That would be fucking cool.
Heart, Journey, and Def Leppard.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah, Huli pour some sugar on me.
Yeah. Well, let's see that we're thinking about it probably won't happen, but we're thinking about maybe going up to Dawson Creek to see Skid Row on March 8th. But it's the Friday night, and my daughter's birthday is on the Sunday, the 10th. So, or for your she turns 10, that happens to be this year. She's never been to Dawson Creek, and that could be a fun one. When she was little, that was her, like, right, I mean, like little, like football sized and all the way up to knee high kind of thing. I used to sing Youth Gone Wild to her all the time for whenever that would come on the playlist, because this was before Spotify, when you had to just put, download songs onto your phone. So you only had so many songs on the playlist. And, Youth Gone Wild was always a constant. I'd sing that to her because it always has the whoa. And kids love that kind of stuff. And then, of course, your dad singing for a kid, trying to make it silly. So sometimes I would change the lyrics up to Moose Gone Wild because, it sounds kind of funny.
So being Canadian, this band I'm about to mention is the Canadian band. A lot of people say, right? The Tragically Hip. What do you think about the Tragically Hip? Were you ever into them, or?
I got into them too late, but yes. And it's funny because I have Stewie, my foreman there. He's been playing a playlist. I heard a bunch of them in today and in the last week, and I'm like, I've got a small handful of their songs, like my favorite songs of theirs. But they're one of those bands where you can go into their deep cuts and listen to full albums, and you're like, oh yeah, they did that song. Oh yeah, that song. Oh fuck yeah, I forgot about that song too. And
Road Apples, that album got that's like Fiddler's Green and fucking what's the one? Eat the Chicken Slow. I want to say Bad to the Bone, but it's not Bad to the Bone. It's oh fuck, what's the name of that song?
So some of our friends here, American friends, might not be aware of them. Their singer, Gord Downey, unfortunately, he passed away of brain cancer. That was probably about 10 years ago now, I think.
That's pretty sad.
But they're one of those kind of iconic Canadian bands where kind of like hockey, right? They were big promoters of hockey here in Canada as well. But it was one of those kind of sad things. And then there's a music festival that Kelowna does every year that coincides with the weekend of the one I go up to in Prince George. And there was a band called the Hip Replacements playing there last summer. And I was like, who's that? I was thinking some kind of like old 50s cover band kind of thing. And then I didn't even think about including it until afterwards. And it was a Tragically Hip cover band. And I'm like, shit, I would go see that. Like, fucking right. That would be, so now that I'm at least aware of them, I'm kind of keeping my eyes open if they ever come close, because I never got to see the real thing. And when they did their final tour, the ticket prices were they're too much for me to be able to.
Yeah, a friend of mine, it was pretty nice because we live like Georgian Bay areas, like really nice in the summer for waterfront and stuff like that. A friend of ours, Gary, he did a bonfire party or whatnot and had a big projector with the concert, big huge PA system and shit.
That's cool.
It was pretty cool. We got to see the last concert, and pretty loud. Yeah, it's pretty good. But I wasn't too into them. They're kind of like, they kind of reminded me sort of like down that avenue of like not sound wise, but kind of style wise of like Pearl Jam and like those like kind of like very artistic singers.
Yep.
The singers like very movie with the mic and shit, and like the words sometimes trail off into the fucking la la land. You got to really be kind of following them to know what's going on. And he got like that sometimes on stage. He was a little looped up, and he'd be talking about killer whales and fucking sea life.
Yeah, well, if you watch, a good example of that is if you YouTube
Little Bones.
They're the Tragically Hip's Woodstock '99 performance of Grace 2. That's a perfect example because he goes on just like one of those weird rambling tangents where it's just like, are you on acid? You sound like you might be on acid.
Yeah, he was well, not really my style. I'm not like, for music and me, I like more of like a refined kind of like not scientific, but you know, a little more clean. But like, it's cool. I get that. Like, when you get in the flow, that's flow state, man. When you're bebopping around a stage like that, just giving her, yeah, man, it is in the spot, right?
Yeah, no, that's good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then so now I've been me and one of my other young guys I work with. Sometimes we're on different crews. Yeah, we talked new. He was asking me a few weeks ago, "What is there any new music out there for heavy stuff?" And I was like, "Dude, fuck, you're the one that should be telling me about the new stuff out there for you to be like you're fucking 20 years old or however old you are." And he but anyway, shortly after that, I got a free 3-month subscription of the Sirius XM when I bought, I think it was the Green Day tickets. And I was like, yeah, I will fire that up and get that going for a couple months. Because I've been offered free 3-month subscriptions often. We went to a lot of concerts this year, and it seems like about every third concert that you'll get offered a subscription to that. And I was like, but I always don't because I want your credit card number and I don't want to pay for it. And then I started thinking, well, fuck, I could probably cancel before they start taking money off me. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll play that game. And I've been listening to Sirius XM radio and Liquid Metal. And there's a band called Entheos. And they've got a singer named Cheney Crab. And this lady is fucking phenomenal. Like death metal growls, deep like George Fisher, Cannibal Corpse. I know it's not really your thing, but there's at least 1 or 2 people in live chat that know what I'm talking about. I don't know if anybody's into this in this band, but if you're looking for heavy music, yeah, it's a good time for that too, man. Go check them out. They're the song that I've been listening to that kind of got me right now is called I Am the Void. And this chick uses like 4 different voices in this. Like does everything from just singing, like proper singing melodically, and then has like 3 different growls that she uses. And I'm just like, holy fuck. Like that's it's dude, it's good. So I think finally, and this is Sloth Lettuce that I was talking to about this, there might finally be a new metal band out there, or new to me at least, that I fucking dig.
Yeah, I got to get back into guitar. I played quite a bit back in like high school. Never really did get good because I was kind of a piece of work when I was younger. So like I just kind of want to chill and not do too much now because I was young and rowdy, right? So I didn't really concentrate on life too much. I was kind of living in the moment, which is, I had lots of fun, but looking back now, I was probably should have slowed down a little bit. But anyways, I need to get back into the guitar because it's in my genes. I know it is. I know I got it in there. So I just got to sit down and practice. I'd like my daughter to get into it as well too.
I've been thinking about trying to re-pick up the bass, and I'll never be a bass player. I can do riffs. I don't know that I have the attention span to ever learn full song arrangements and stuff like that. But like I've mentioned a few times about trying to work on just stupid little songs that we can use for fucking the show for fucking, like
bass is fun though. It's kind of the same premise as guitar.
Well, it is, but one of the things I'm trying to work on right now is some kind of rap song. I've got like a full page of lyrics that's about 2 verses worth, right? That I think it's what we do for a show, and got a good idea. You've seen the videos I've made. You got a pretty good idea what the fucking lyrics of any kind of song going to be. It's going to be piss funny, but it's not going to be good. It's not going to be fucking good. No, at best, it's going to be so horrible that it's good in that so painful. But I got to look kind of drive my car crash kind of way. But my problem is I can't find good, like those song samples that I sent you off that free thing that Colton hooked me up with. Mm-hmm. They're okay, but I don't want to fucking use them. They're not quite it. So I started working on trying to sample music last night. I sent you a video. I don't know if you've seen it because I sent you other shit since then. But I took a song, a Grandmaster Caz song, one of the fucking original rappers that was there at the beginning of it all. And I figured out how I can take the 2.5 second clip of the beat that doesn't have him rapping over it, and fucking take that, cut that, and chunk that, and turn that into like a 30-second fucking loop. And yeah, so now I think I finally figured out how to be able to work with shit. So this could be a lot of fun.
I'm just fucking hitting all the buttons. Yeah, no, it's like you obviously really appreciate music, so I'm surprised you don't play an instrument.
I don't have the dedication. I can hyper focus on some things, but that there's not enough. I need to see results if I'm going to put the time and effort into it, and the results, while they are fun, you give me, say, the song Ocean Pearl by 5440. Great fucking song. If you don't know it, please go look it up, by another great Canadian rock band. But it's an easy riff, and it took me the better part of a week to figure that out. But man, I had so much fun learning. And this isn't like I sat there every day for a week. This is, I'd go to work, spend my 8 hours a day or more working my ass off, come home, smoke a joint, do supper, and then maybe try and dedicate an hour to it, and then spend a lot of time during the weekends. You know.
When I started getting down like some Zeppelin and some Rage Against the Machine, a little bit of Hendrix, not Hendrix like solo stuff, but just like the rhythm backing and shit like that. And stuff that was relatable and people recognized. And then my actual artistic, good musician friends could play the lead and sing, and I'd just be in the back keeping time and rhythm and shit. So it's like I got pretty good, but then it's like it just fizzled out because life hits and work and all that, right? But I got actually 2 guitars. I can't see them, but I could get them within 3 or 4 steps. So it's like I got a couple sets of strings and picks and a bunch of stuff for the daughter for Christmas.
Nice.
So she opens that. I've been dying to get it going, but I'm like, I don't want to get it going now. Like I gotta, after Christmas Day we'll get going. But there's a 12 string there too, but 12 strings a little too hippie-ish for me. Like, I don't know, that's just sounds cool, but it's more like it's a fucking harp.
Well, it's, do you fucking need it, right? Like that's
a couple Neil Young songs and some picking songs and
yeah,
stuff.
man. Like you watch fucking Guns N' Roses and Slash brings it out for one song.
Mm-hmm. It sounds hella cool though, man. Because like just having all those, like, I guess the whatever it is going on, it sounds cool to the ear, right? So there's a couple tunes that you need it to have that like not echo effect, but that double. I guess it's just an amplifier. I miss it though, because I can jam a good tune. I'm not that good like where like frontman qualities. I don't know about that. But like sitting around a room getting baked, you'd be looking at me like, damn, you can play all right, eh? But then like get anywhere near a stage or anything, and I'm fucking useless. So you know what I mean? So, kind of like a guy that could play road hockey real good. Put him on skates and fucking.
Yeah, let's rip it.
Oh, rivet. I don't even got anything ready, motherfucker. Last little bit of this pineapple sour.
Yeah.
I got a big nug of it in my my other jar. And ooh, that smells god damn. Pretty good. That's pretty good. So what your style of cloning, I'm sure you fucking told me before, but I'm stoner, right? So yeah, arrow cloner.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. There's something up with it. Because, well, I can still plug it in and we'll basically walk away. And I will get roots. It takes fucking forever. And there's just something's up. I'm doing something wrong. There's something wrong with the cloner. I'm not sure. Because like I said, the right side of it, half whatever, they'll get roots in a reasonable amount of time, and everything else not so much. So, but
what about have you pH'd your water?
Fuck no.
That I think might be an issue because either did I, right? So I was talking with some people, and they're like, you can add like a couple drips of citric acid, couple drips of vinegar, either or. Bring it down a couple of points because I have zero way to check mine right now, my pH, right? I've got pool testers, but they just say that the color relates to not a pH level, obviously, but on the reader, it just says like good, bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like fucking, it's like pool and spa and bad, and then like it's got a range, but it doesn't tell me the numbers. So I'm like, well, that's kind of fucking doesn't help me. So I did put like honestly maybe 2 ml of vinegar in there, and it's like probably 5-gallon water, so like almost nothing, right? But just enough. I don't know, maybe because I know my tap water is like 7.8 or something like that. Or last time I was pHing fucking a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, it was somewhere around there. It was the sevens, I think, high sevens, and sevens neutral, right?
Yes, I believe so.
I think you want like 6.5 probably for your cloner, maybe.
I don't know. I fucking hate pHing, so I just don't. I've taken a stand against it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's been. Would it have been? It's been 10. No, not quite 10 days. Those clones were taken last Saturday. So it was 7 days on Saturday. And then we're up to what, Thursday now? So yeah, it's 11 days, 12 days. And I got roots. I'm starting to get roots. That's not that bad. Yeah, see, he's 650R saying Clonex solution and low 6 pH helps in my cloner. Yeah, get it into the low 6 is what I was told. And I was thinking mine might be in the 7s. So I hit it with a couple drips of vinegar, and I didn't want to like a whole bunch, right? Like I just whatever. Because I knew I could see some calluses, and we've got more growth today, so that vinegar has been in there for 24 hours or more. I don't think it's done anything adverse, that's for sure. Now that he's sparked it, I really want to ask because I'm tired of just putting fucking water into my cloner. So what is it? Is there like that Clonex solution? Is it like just a bottle of shit you like mix with water and put in a cloner, and it's designed? It's got the IBA or whatever it is in there.
Isn't it just the cloning gel? I would have been my guess.
Like I use, I've got the I've got cloning gel, I've got cloning powder, but what as just for the water, is it just everyone just uses just water, or can you put some sort of solution in there so that instead of just water spraying, you're getting the like maybe some other stuff?
Oh yeah, if you get cloning gel and just dump some of that in there. I've done that. Maybe that's part of the reason why I'm having issues, because I used to do that all the time. I used to still. When I used to put them in, when I first started using it, I would still dump them in cloning gel and cloning powder, because that was always my thing when I used to clone peat puffs. I'd dump in cloning gel and cloning powder. So I doubled shot them and then hit them in the peat puff, and I would have excellent results doing that. But then when I started this whole new awesome life that I have, I just went for the cloner because I had some extra cash and I thought maybe it'd be a little bit easier, and it absolutely is. But like I said, my success rate.
Okay. Should I even be worried if I'm starting to see roots at 11 days? My process is obviously working.
I think
my clones aren't healthy though, so I think I need to get my plants even more healthy and like perfect before I take clones, because any detriment, and when they hit the cloner and they don't get that root to take any more stuff up, they just kind of
healthier the better. Absolutely. Yes. If you're in a position where everything can't be optimum, then that's the case, right?
I've taken some pretty sick clones like back from the dead, so I'm it's nothing new to me, but these ones aren't dead and dying, but they're starting to be like, hey, I'm fucking out of here. I'm like, no, you're not. You got roots. You wait a bit, watch 2 days. Your center of you is going to be like, hey. So we'll see. Yeah, I just need trying to keep the one set of clones, because a friend of mine did a reversal on, I believe, a garlic cookies and put it on an animal cookies and created this really cool plant. and it was the only seed that came out of that whole project he did. Like the pollen didn't work for shit, I guess. And he kind of wants to keep it around, right? And he doesn't have a garden right now, and I have his genetics. So everything else is obtainable other than that. So I just want to get some roots on that so I can, get some flower and stuff going on and move everything through the garden. So we're close. We got nubs and a couple little roots. The Mendo's got roots. So I'm keeping that around here. You guys see the donkeys that were coming out of the backyard? That was awesome. And so I'm gonna try that indoors, do some training on it, and try to get some nice looking buds out of that. Well, I want to keep that around the garden. Like that's just certain genetics you see, and when you actually put your hands on them, grow them, see them, it's like wow, it's got some strength, that plant.
I'm feeling the urge to pop seeds. I've been trying to wait till Christmas, and I was gonna do it this week, but then I think about I'm going away for the better part of a week. We'll be leaving like Saturday the 23rd and going up to Prince George, my hometown, until probably the 27th. So that's actually not too bad, I guess. But anyways, I'm worried about plants fucking drying out. And fucking do I want to start a bunch of new plants and leave them unattended for? Although 4 days for a fucking brand new seedling with a bit of moisture in a cup isn't that bad either. So maybe I don't know. Or Christmas is only like I think it's like what 10, not quite 10 days away. Yeah, I mean I could wait 10 days, but that means I got to bring seeds with me on the road to my parents' place and pop them on the road. Which you guys have seen me before. I'm definitely not opposed to that shit. But
I was gonna say that's your thing, man.
Or I should just go into my I'd be interested in looking at my parents' seed collection. Because I know it's mostly my stuff, but I know it's not all my stuff.
Yeah, go down there and rummage their stash, eh?
Yeah, I pop some of his shit. I know he's got a buttload of Frosted Jeff's gear because I'm the one that gives it to him.
So my old man was just a smoker. He was not the grower. No. It took him a while too, because I started growing in the closet in his house, right? So he was kind of upset about that. Granted, right? Light the fucking house on fire and shit.
My dad's just the cutest thing. He's fucking trying to grow his own food crops and grow weed and all that at the same time, but he's got a 3x3 tent with a cannon in it, which isn't a bad setup for a 3x3. But he's got this other shitty light, this white LED light. It's like a quantum board that is even older than the Canon by maybe even 2 years. So you got an idea of how the quality that is, right? And he's thinking that he's got these really fucking slick grow system going on. And it's nah, what you need to do is invest in something like one of those flies-ons that Flag and Fluff's been talking to us about, something that I'm hoping to get my hands on here soon. And just, but yeah, he's just so funny. But anyways, yeah, he's got a bunch of seeds. Maybe I can go pop some of his. But at the same time, I want to grow my shit. So, and I still got to grow the blueberry butchers out. Maybe if I give him the blueberry butchers, he can grow them for me. I pop the blueberry butchers at his place and leave them there so he can't ignore them.
There you go.
I'll go to his place.
Do your paper towel thing and then call him in 3 days and be like, hey.
Oh, dude,
there's a plate on top of your fridge. Take a look.
You know what? That could work. Okay, so say I pop blueberry butchers at his place on Christmas Day because that's what I want to do, and I leave him there for him to take care of. I've already mentioned that I might come back through on beginning of March for my daughter's birthday on our way to Dawson Creek, right? So I can, on our way home, I could stop in and grab clones off of everything that he's got from the blueberry butchers. Or just take the fucking plants back on him. Wouldn't that be a fucking dink move? It is something I would do to him, though, just to say I did it. It's But I'd feel guilty. I'd have to leave him different plants there. Completely different strains in, if he's got black 3-gallon pots in like those white little grow bag things. That'd be more of the way to move on that one.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see my parents get into that. Like my mom doesn't smoke anymore. She never really did. She was more like party chick like back in the day. So she was drinking and she'd have a toke, but like it wasn't for the right reasons, really. You know, she's into it now for like she'll do sublingual CBD. She's really into this the CBD stuff now. But for smoking recreational, she's not on that list. And my old man, yeah, he's down. He'll still pop and fucking hang out for sure.
I've heard rumors that my mom smokes weed.
Never caught her, no. She just hides still.
Yeah, I know. And like my sisters have seen it, and I hear her talk about it every once in a while. I'm like, what the fuck? I ingest probably more weed than just about everyone else you know put together, and you won't fucking smoke a joint with your son. It's like, Mom, I've smoked a joint with your fucking dad before, and he's been passed away for about 25 years ish, somewhere around there. Like, come on, like you won't smoke one with me? And I've never even seen it, let alone smoked one with her, which is just, I don't know if it's
she's good. Then she's good at it, man. She's in her ways, man.
But at the same time, she's not a pothead. She's a very occasional smoker where I think it happens like a couple times a year, right?
Yeah.
So
I might be able to get my mom to take one quick little pinch, but I wouldn't want to bother her now. She's a cute little old lady now. Let's not give her paranoia.
I remember when I was about 16-ish, I think. No, it'd be even earlier, probably closer to 14. Because my grandpa's we go down to, I think it might have been another grandpa's funeral, and we're staying at my mom's place. And me and my brother outside on the deck smoking a cigarette or whatever. Maybe we went out there to smoke a joint. And my grandpa comes out, and I remember my brother, he's like, "Oh, what's that?" My brother's like, "Oh, I got something for you," and handed him a joint. And my grandpa took a fucking rip off the joint and then handed it to, I can't remember, it was me or my brother. And me and my brother just looked at each other, fucking eyes like, did that just happen? You know, like, holy shit, we just smoked a joint with grandpa. Like that was a pretty cool moment. Yep. And especially when you're fucking real young, and that's all you can think about, right? Oh, I want to get this person high. I smoke a joint with that person, right? Because you're dumb. Young people are, let's face it.
Yeah. Well, for some people, it's just honestly I feel it. Like some people smoke it and they just get that paranoia.
Yeah.
And that's not a good feeling. I get anxiety, big time, but just with this life stresses. It's not like a diagnosed thing or anything, but like sometimes just being a dad and being fucking being involved in life gets to you and you fucking freak out a little bit. So it's like, imagine trying to relax and having that happen to you. So it's like, I get it. When some people don't ever peer pressure people if they're around you and they're like, nah, when I smoke, man, it kind of freaks me out. Don't peer pressure them because you don't even want that on your hands. Someone around you that's fucking just having a real shitty buzz.
No.
Like
that's another thing. Like in this day and age, I think we're all adults and we can be responsible. I respect the fact people don't drink, they don't smoke. You know, it's all up to you. I got no hard feelings against people that don't wish to imbibe. But I remember when I quit smoking weed, as I've said many times, there's about a 14-year chunk from my early 20s to mid 30s or wherever that gets me, where I quit smoking weed. And when that first happened, people were always trying to force their joints on me, or they'd blow their joints in my, or they're smoking my face, and like just ignorant shit like that. I'm like, fuck off, man. I don't smoke. Like it doesn't make me happy because it was an anxiety thing. For me and my buddy Russ, for getting drunk at like 6 o'clock in the morning. We're at a keg party all night out in Bear Lake, BC. If anyone fucking knows that area, we're talking sticks. People are different out there. And the store opens at 6 a.m. So we needed cigarettes. We'd been waiting for a couple hours to buy cigarettes, drinking, show that. We're walking to the store, and there's like a racing quad, fucking like Banshee or something like that. Freaking old school, freaking part in the driveway. And we're like, honestly, I say this 100%. It never occurred. We were borrowing this thing. It never occurred to us that it was theft. I straight up. We were drunk as shit and had good intentions. Probably even meant to bring it back. That's not what happened. We fucking get on it. I remember Russ is pushing it with me on it, trying to bomb start it because I've got fucking fair bit of quad experience. He gets on. I remember we're just going down a fucking straight stretch on a road and away, complete opposite direction from the fucking store at this point. And fucking all of a sudden I see a trail off to our right, and I just fucking cranked the handlebars. And I remember tumbling and my head going like out on the pavement with the tire of the fucking quad bouncing off my head, driving my head farther into the pavement. Me and Russ get up all fucked up. Holy shit. You know, we go back to the party. Every single person there is sleeping and passed out and stuff. We're all way fucked up trying to get a ride back to the hospital in Prince George, which is like about an hour south. And everybody's like getting like pissed off at us, like fucking we're a bunch of assholes, which I guess in hindsight we were. The quad got left in the middle of the fucking road, plastic fenders smashed all the fucking shit off of it. And a few hours later, however long it was, fucking we get dropped off at home. Someone's finally sober enough to give us a ride or whatever. And it was the next day I go to Russ's house to smoke a joint. I am fucking hurting, and he's in worse shape than I am. I remember I had to fucking pull a dreadlock of matted up, blood encrusted hair out of my, you know, it was just like, and I go to Russ's and we smoked it.
You guys.
We smoked this joint and a big fatty. And I think it was like shake with fucking hash oil on it, if I remember correctly. So it wasn't even good weed, but it had good oil to make it decent. And as sure as shit as I'm looking at you right now, I could feel my kidneys bleeding. I fucking swore. Like I still remember kind of sensations and the feelings of that. But so I start freaking, oh my God, my kidneys are bleeding, blah, blah, blah. Russ is like comes out with a handful of like Advil, here, take these. I'm like, dude, my kidneys are bleeding and shit. I call mom freaking out. Go to the doctor's office and it turns out to nothing but my very first anxiety attack. But after that, smoking weed wasn't the same. And so I started smoking less and less. And after about a year, it was like, you know what? What's the point anymore? And then just one day out of the blue, about 2-3 weeks before I got married, my ex used to smoke sporadically. And by sporadically, I mean, she bought what I think was like a quarter, maybe a half ounce, but probably a quarter off of her brother about 8 months previous to that. And I went into just out of the blue. I was like, you know what? I feel like it's been a while. And in that 14 years, there's maybe 10 times where you'd get me to smoke. If you got me drunk enough or whatever, I'd be willing to kind of get high or whatever. And, but I remember rolling it, asking her if it was any good. She's like, it's all right. Rolling up that joint. And I had 2 puffs because I remembered I don't want to get the anxiety. And I was just fucked. Like, and I could feel the anxiety creeping in, and we're like, yeah, 2 puffs. And like, we had the friggin' wall in the middle of like between the kitchen, the dining room, and the living room. I could walk around pacing. I remember doing that because the anxiety's creeping in and shit like that. And then after I calmed down a bit, I was sitting on the couch and put some Trailer Park Boys on. And fucking me and my daughter sat on the couch watching Trailer Park Boys for like 3.5 hours or something like that. It was fucking awesome.
That's more like it.
Yeah,
that's a good time with some Trailer Park Boys and a little bit of a buzz.
Yeah. Well, dude, and then they got into, actually, it might have even been Trailer Park Boys cartoon, possibly. I know it's hard to say. I can't remember when I got into that, but I remember when I first heard about the Trailer Park cartoon, I was like, nah, that's fucking dumb. I don't like that sounds that. Like, well, why do they got to fuck with something that's good? But then you realize that they can do shit way worse because, you know, it's a cartoon and not real life. Yeah, it's
yeah, it got a little sideways at that. They're kind of pulling for straws by that point. But I'm one of those diehard fans that's like, if you know seasons 1 through 7, or if you know the backbone of the series, what it was season 1 through 7 was like when it was, for lack of better terms, private. It was like a different. It was the original creators, and I believe it was only released through certain networks being showcased, which in Canada this was just it's a Canadian thing. So it wasn't in the States in the early years, and then it went from 7 to 12 or whatever the last season was. That's when they were getting famous, and whoever bought it, whoever owns it after that. SwearNet, I believe, is the company. It got a little more. You could tell the production got a little more high end. It changed. It not drastically. It's still fucking hilarious. The boys are still the boys, but yeah, it changed. And season 1 through 7 is the way to go. I've got a collection here. I don't know if it's down here, but if it is, you guys will laugh. I may have taken it somewhere.
He fucking leaves me here to just like cough and hack on the screen. Awesome.
So this is it right here, the cheeseburger locker.
Shit. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. Where does it say it? The official cheeseburger locker. It says it somewhere. Yeah, right there on his arm there.
That's great.
And then you open it up and it's got all the different seasons in the movies there. But this is like the original, right? So this is only season 1 through 7. Yeah, fuck. I got to load some of these up and watch them. Fuck, that's good stuff. The boys. Wow.
Yeah.
From Russia with love.
Yeah, no, that's some classic Canadian comedy right there, for sure.
Welcome to the shit abyss. Yeah, Supreme knows. Yeah, if you guys want some like, it's not even. It started out as like B grade, but then it became a cult classic, and it's just, I don't know to be a fucking blue collar Canadian kid, not really on the East Coast, but Ontario. It's kind of, I'm not sure if it's the same all the way across, but like some of the shit we
pretty much consider everything east of Alberta is Newfoundland.
Okay, so yeah. Everything they do, the little nuances they have in those shows to do with the Canadian, like, what do you call it, pop culture, or like just like the weird shit, like grandma's cups, for instance, the cups that grandma used to have. They have that shit, like the mustard glass that Julian's drinking out of and shit. Like, that's fucking, it's just funny, man, because that's the 70s and 80s shit we grew up with as kids, like the no-name bags of chips.
Yeah.
Fucking the little hockey table with the spinny fucking rods. Yeah, Corey and Trevor smoke. Let's go. Fucking classic line in the show. Like, that's the best, man. Bubbles goes up to him, smokes, and he's like, "You don't even smoke. Fuck you, hairdo, who smokes." Fucking good stuff, man. I can go on about it all day. I'm a mega fan. I've got belt buckles and signed scripts and fucking cheeseburger lockers. I hired them. I hung out with them. Not the boys, but the fucking Randy and Leahy, right? So, RC Cola. Yeah, Dax knows. Oh, fuck. I'm glad so many of our fans are fans of the show.
But, well, it kind of fits in, though, right? We, like, man, like, on a bunch of different levels. First of all, we're slumming it, man. We're not aiming for the big growers with the huge LP fucking licenses and shit. We're the year's got a tent right behind you. I grow in tents. I live in low income housing, for fuck's sakes, because this is the only place we can afford in our community. Straight up, that is legit. It's the crude comedy that like we're definitely not saying the stuff that they say, but it's, the crudeness is there at the same time. There's a lot of crossover. To be honest, we should reach out to them. I wonder if we could ever get one of them on the show.
I might be able to get Randy, because like I actually know him. Like, I might be able to send him an email and he'd remember who I was. So that might work out. But Randy, he's not the coolest, but he's Randy, man. He's fucking
dude. It's like
bisexual bumblebee cheeseburger eating bitch.
Dude, it'd still be fun, man. It'd be a blast.
Oh, it would be. He's fucking classic too. He's a good guy. Like, we sat and ate things and drank beer and shit after the shows and stuff, and he's pretty cool, dude.
I have a hard time believing Randy Bobandy. That's right. Again, I have a hard time believing we couldn't fill a 2-hour show with him. It could be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, he'd be good.
Oh yeah, Jay, that's a good episode, Jay. They tried to smuggle smokes through the woods. They had a fucking deal with Sebastian Bach from what's the band? Oh, fuck, too funny.
See, Skid Row and him has been brought up a couple times tonight, dude. I think this is a sign that I got to go see them in March. Yeah. So, like, here's how this is shaping up. I think this year I've seen I will see 13 shows after we see Zach Sabbath next week, and so we've already got tickets for Colin James in February, Amon Amarth Cannibal Corpse Obituary in April, Sammy Hagar July, Green Day Rancid in August, and Metallica Pantera in August. And then also we're probably going to go see Metallica and Five Finger Death Punch in August. Possibly Def Leppard and Journey in August. This is like, how did I get onto this again?
You rock and roll, fucking until you die. Look at you go.
Well, no, I had a point for what I was doing. I should be able to at least maintain a thought for 30 seconds before I go. You're getting John Cena on me.
Oh, I can't wait to go to the concert. Like I'm looking forward to it. I haven't relaxed much in the last bit, doing a lot of work, and I got still lots more working to do, but I got to learn to do some relaxing. So,
see, that's my thing. Is I like this year that we're in hasn't been perfect, but by any means, there's been a lot of stress to it. But it was a million times better than last year, the year that my divorce was really getting scary and stressful, and it was looking like I might lose everything and then some. And being that in this relationship that I'm in, we're like Ashley's all in for adventure. She's never really done much with adventuring and seeing stuff before I came around, and now it's like I just want to have fun. I can't guarantee that I will be here tomorrow. None of us can, and that's the reality. You get in an accident on the way home from work, or if you get sick, and it's like, yeah, I just, that's my thing is when I think about when I was my daughter's age, my dad was gone all the time, out of town, working in the bush, right? And that's what I see myself doing a lot of, and I can't avoid it. My job requires that I leave town from time to time. It is what it is. But when I got time to be with my family, I want to spend it doing fun stuff. And it doesn't mean you got to be going to concerts and hey, go see fucking concerts. You know my opinion on that. But I'm not saying that has to be what everyone has to do to have fun either. You can go fishing, like whatever it is. There's a million different ways. But you find that chill time, because if you fucking drop dead tomorrow, your boss is going to have your ass replaced next week. So fucking find that chill time as well. It's essential, because there's like when I was there's points where I was talking about it earlier, like going through the divorce and stuff like that, where going to work was the best part of my day. Are you fucking kidding me? Going to work and busting my hump for fucking 8 to 10 hours a day, that's the best part of my day? But that's the reality of it. And, hey, I work with good guys, and I don't mind my job for the most part. But when that is the best thing that you got going on, that's fucked up.
I see Grape says here, if there's a trailer park trivia, Keebay can win some money.
Dude,
funny you say that, because at one of the shows that I was hosting, I was bartending, right? So I'm behind the bar, and the crowd's out there, and I'm not mic'd up or anything. I'm just sitting there, and I'm fucking like, these people suck, right? So like I keep yelling out, like, but he can barely hear me. Finally, Mr. Lee, he's like, fucking Hanmore, get up here, you fucking. And he was calling me names and shit over the fucking mic. It was hilarious. So I get up on stage, and he's like, okay, this guy thinks he knows everything. Fucking, he's going on, fucking whatever, right? I'm nailing it. Knocking by the park. Nice. He's like, okay. What's the name of the cat Bubbles is allowed to take to prison in whatever episode? I'm like, Vince the Pince, bud. And he's like, fucking, you need to get a life, man. You know fucking every fucking thing about this. That's where I got my science script from. Was the trivia.
Hey, man, that's cool. Dude, that'd be like me in fucking Rock and Roll Jeopardy.
Yeah. I wouldn't know anything. I didn't even know what's Skid Row.
I am still to this day undefeated at Rock and Roll Jeopardy. Disclaimer: we haven't played in about 20 years because I haven't seen
That's
it.
two good ideas right there. Rock and Roll trivia, Trailer Park Boys trivia. If you make that happen, there's some fun little ideas for maybe Discord or something.
I thought, fuck, that could be fun. We'll figure out how to make that into an interesting
Name
thing.
That Tune. That's a good one. I like Name That Tune.
Or, that'd be another thing. We could, like, come up with a few random fucking questions for Trailer Park Boys, Rock and Roll, whatever, and just start posting them up fucking for live chat and shit, too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I might have to watch some of that tonight, actually, too, because that's a good way to stress relief, watching that show, man.
Yeah.
You get to laughing. I haven't turned off the brain in a while. I really need to do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'll get into. I'll get into some food. I know that.
Yeah, again, some snacks.
I was just cooking.
How did I get the belt buckle from them? It was just a gift. Same show, maybe, or I did 2 shows with them, I think a year apart. One of the shows, Mr. Leahy came up and was like, "Hey, keep this. There's only a few of these made." I was like, "Fucking yeah!" But then I went and wore it, and it's all scratched up and shit. It's pretty sweet though. I looked them up on eBay and shit, $50, so it's no big deal. You can get one. If you want one, they're out there.
It is Jesus. So, not that anyone necessarily cares, but it's a big deal in my world. Forget the Dodgers fucking just traded for freaking Tyler Glasnow and Manuel Margot in return for Ryan Pepio and Johnny DeLuca. Holy shit. Anybody paying attention to MLB baseball and the Dodgers, like, fuck, they're building a scary, scary team.
So here's a little update on the autoflowers. This is the one with the growing out the nose of the skull. Little rhinoceros bud. Just tiny, because, like, there's my hand. I don't know if you see it.
Dude, it kind of almost looks like it's got a dick growing out of its face. It's about the right angle for an erect one.
About that.
Dick going into its face, perhaps.
But we're getting close to the not the finish line per se, but
Cheers, Kingfisher.
we're getting up there. There's the focusing sucking. Probably a dog hair.
It's looking good.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. These are they were labeled sour diesel, so I don't know. This one's got a nice kind of ranky smell to it, so it could be. I don't know about diesel fuel, but it maybe when the cure comes on, because it's got that deep down rank-a-dank smell to it. And the buds, I don't know if you can't really see it here, but they're fairly pointy. They got that speary top to them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I haven't grown enough sour diesel to know. And once you autoflower something, you're mixing it up already. So who knows, right? But then there's another one here that's a little thicker and a little different. It's kind of got those, like, I call it like the rose petal kind of look, where the top of the flower kind of twists up, gets a little, kind of doubles up on itself. But this one's just a little fatter and a little different. Oh, that light's kind of sucking. But a little different bud structure. And yeah, so that grow light's really blinding us.
It's really good looking, dude.
Yeah, but the same thing, just little dudes. I kind of got them stunted when I had them in the solo cups for like fucking way too long, over a month probably. But lots of trikes on them. Like I'll get some scoped up pics on it. It'll be pretty nice. I'll get half ounce maybe off each plant, so an ounce together. But I only smoke shit fucking an ounce a month maybe, or probably a little more than that. But You know, so that'll last me a couple weeks. That's a couple weeks worth of smoke, which is, you know, is what it is. But ta-da, a lot of flowers.
Did he just say
Got a chance to hang with Hype the other day, actually. I ran into him on Discord. I forget what channel we were on, but he was in Discord hanging out, and I ran into him, did some chatting about, you know, seeds and stuff.
How's he doing? I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, he's doing all right. You know, seemed like it anyways.
Right on. It's good to hear. It's good to hear.
Yes, sir.
Well, what do you figure?
Yeah, that's pretty good there. Yeah.
I thought we were going to do an hour-long show. It's like fucking damn near 2. That's fucking pretty awesome, man.
It's all right. Yeah. I'm sorry about being late there, guys. I'm just, you know, had a lot on the plate. So.
No worries. Worst things will happen.
Taking it step by step. Getting her done.
Yeah. All right. Everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with us for Thursday night. It's a great time hanging out with the live chat. I just want to quickly, once again, point out our Go Coffee or Buy Me a Coffee fundraiser that we're doing for our brother Terp, currently locked up for the crime of growing cannabis. So we're looking to raise funds to maybe put some clothes on his back, put some food in his belly, maybe even a place to rent when he gets released so that he can focus on getting himself nice gainful employment. Keep his ass out of jail, and then maybe he can focus on a little bit of growing as well. So that's our goal right there. And you can help contribute to his fund. Go over to Buy Me a Coffee. The link is in the description below there. You can buy as many coffees as you want. They start off $5 a piece. One, you're 100. We're not saying buy us 100, although we sure as hell wouldn't say no. But we also realize that that's who the fuck would do that. A shout out to everybody that has been donating to the Buy Me a Coffee fund as well. We got Patreon as well. Everyone, all our Patreon supporters, we appreciate your support. And if you'd like to help support the show with Patreon as well, the link is in the description for that one as well. And we got links for everything, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Go link surfing. I don't know. I'm high as shit and rambling. I don't even know what to say anymore. So it seems like a good way to end it. You out of here? We done? Fuck yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow night. Y'all have a great day. Later. Cheers.
Take this worry away from me. My final bed today. I need a silent
Y'all know what time it is. Rockstar Dab Time. Fuck yeah. Later, everyone. Have a great night.